Hi, I'm just making a quick video just for us at Lutheran College to walk us through just what the role of the personal project supervisor is, especially for those who are new to our campus in the past couple of years. You will have missed the bulk of our personal project training. I'm just making a little video just to walk you through what the personal project is and our role as supervisors and how we can best support our students and make the most of the personal project meetings. So firstly, just what is the personal project? A refresher for some of us, or introduction for the newbies. So the personal project is an independent research and action project. It's a Year 10 requirement for all MYP students around the world, and it's an exploration of a personal interest where students actually set their own goals and they plan how to achieve their goal, then obviously put it into action to actually achieve the goal they've set based on a personal interest. It's focused through the lens of an MYP global context, and it's a way to pursue interests and to develop new skills and build upon their own strengths and abilities. The MYP projects follows what's called the MYP projects inquiry cycle, very similar to the design and the art cycle. That has 4 different criteria elements. So in the blue section, they start off, they define a goal based on personal interest. They then identify their prior learning and subject-specific knowledge, and they demonstrate their research skills as part of the investigating aspect. They then go into planning, where they develop a proposal for action or a set of criteria. They then plan and record the development process, and they demonstrate their self-management skills. They then go into taking action, where they demonstrate their communication and social skills, they demonstrate thinking skills, and they actually create a product or an outcome for their personal project. You can see here lots of approaches to learning skills, lots and lots of those. Reflection, thinking, research, media literacy, information literacy are embedded within the personal project. Then they're reflecting as they evaluate the quality of their personal project product or outcome. They reflect on their own knowledge and understanding and how it's grown through the personal project and the development of the project itself. And they reflect on their development as an IB learner, where they look at the learner profile and they unpack and begin to reflect how they've grown and develop the characteristics of the IB learner profile attributes. It's quite a long process, but it's one that's a really fantastic way for students to demonstrate what they've learned through all the MYP subjects from Year 6 through to the end of Year 9 and what they're currently learning right now in their Year 10 subject areas. The final result, obviously, a sense of accomplishment, finishing such a massive, massive project. And hopefully they have greater self-management skills that will help support the increased rigour of the senior school studies and then with NTCET and the SACE program. It is to be completed purely outside of school time, as they really have to manage their time effectively. It only takes about 25 to 30 hours to complete the entire personal project, but oftentimes with students who are still learning those basic self-management skills, that can often mean that they spend 25 to 30 hours, 3 days before it's due, finishing their personal project. But obviously we want to help them not have that experience. So another final result is the personal project product or outcome. The product is what they create, or an outcome can be a service endeavour or a workshop that they've created. The product can be a motorbike, it can be a book, it can be a painting, it can be anything they like. They also submit a process journal, which is an extensive body of work that documents the entire process of the personal project. This is what they should be bringing to their meetings with you to show you what they have done so far. Our mantra is, how visible is your thinking? Make your thinking very visible. So the student should have lots and lots documented by the time we get to the end of the personal project. They also complete a 3,500 report. This is primarily a written report. However, for those students who really do struggle in terms of their writing ability, that's more than okay, and they can simply do an oral report. They do need to have this with an accompanied appendices that draws extracts from their process journal as evidence for what they are saying they have completed in their actual report. And obviously by you as a supervisor, we need to sign off an academic honesty form, making sure that yes, this is actually their work. Yes, they have referenced and used the correct referencing techniques and bibliography. And yes, this is an effective project. So SEQTA, because of the very independent nature of personal project, we have actually set up an entire untimetable class in SEQTA. Within the PLP and research practices classes with Julie, James, Sarah and Shona, the students will be learning some very key research skills, those very high order senior school research skills that they have as part of their learning journey there. They'll teach the skills in the classroom, the kids then apply that within their personal project. This class is also a little place of reminder. So kids, make sure you're getting along. Your global context should have been sorted by now. You should have had your Gantt chart created. You should be planning and documenting, etc. So once again on SEQTA, I'll show you at the end, there's step-by-step guides, there's videos for those who don't like to read. So it's a really quite a comprehensive program for them to follow. The role of the supervisor, because all teachers within the MYP school are personal project teachers, it's a culminating project and it draws together all their learning experiences from all their different subject areas. And the role of the personal project supervisor is firstly to be a support person. We really do take on the role of a coach and a guide that just acts as a support for that student, because there actually isn't a teacher, a personal project teacher as such. We are someone that we can share their ideas with and ensure they're keeping on track throughout the project. The support that we have put in place for you is obviously our four PLP teachers. There's opportunities for WISP uploads continuously throughout the program for students to actually upload their work via WISPs and SEQTA, so you can actually access that during their meetings with you. And also in their CAV engagement sessions, I am downstairs in the lower senior school with the personal project subject guide and all the different resources on SEQTA, ready to help anyone who's struggling. So if someone is struggling, can you please just send them to me in that time so I can clarify and help them in any way possible. Our responsibility is obviously to make sure that the personal project product or outcome or the topic is appropriately legal and ethical standards with regards to health, safety, confidentiality, human rights, animal welfare and environmental issues. So making sure we're not breaching any of those fundamental elements for legal and ethical reasons, of course. Provide guidance and support throughout the process. And at the end, we need you to confirm the authenticity of the work submitted. So if someone presents an incredible project at the end and you, the supervisor, think, hang on a minute, I don't think this is their work, I can then begin to make some investigations there. I'll need you first to confirm that yes, this is an authentic piece of their work. At the end, we engage in a whole school standardization process where everyone marks their student's project and another student's project, and we team mark and we standardize. It's a whole process that we go through as a whole school standardization meeting. That's not until later. Because we're moving towards more of a coaching model in this school, a lot of us are currently undergoing our training for coaching, and obviously that is opened up for all teachers across the college. Darren has come to the idea that we actually have the growth model as what we actually have embedded with all of our personal project meetings, so we can help reinforce the coaching model throughout our college. So I've put together just a little slide, and I can print this out and photocopy it for staff rooms as well, just so we have some visual reminders. So when a student comes to see you, we can actually begin to walk them through the coaching approach. So we start with the growth model. So obviously we have a relationship that builds the trust with the students. We can start with the goals. So what do you need to achieve? What have you achieved since we last spoke? The reality, so what's happening now? You can begin to ask some good questions there. Then have options, so what could you do? What will you do? Tactics, how and when will you do it? And your habits, how will you sustain your success? So as we begin in our meetings to coach students through using these questions, they can then begin to give us some really concrete answers that can help us see where they are and also help guide them in the process to clarify their thoughts, to clarify any confusion they may have, and to help them in their personal project journey. So once again, I'll print this out for all our office spaces and laminate them so they can sort of be visuals on hand as we need them. So what's happened for this year? Students have commenced their personal project in week 9 of term 4. They should have by now contacted you. I have uploaded missed deadlines for all students. They should have been contacted by the house coordinator as a gentle reminder. You need to go see your supervisor. And I'll continue this process to make sure that they have those continual meetings. They're required to have a minimum of 3 meetings with their supervisor. We have allocated a session for 5 meetings, and the last 2 really are just, it's due in a couple of weeks' time. You need to make sure it's ready. The final due date for this will be Thursday of week 1, term 3. The reason we chose this time frame is so we can give them feedback before they go on their week without walls and before they go on the school holidays. And then from there, they can take their feedback on board and finalise their project over the holidays. And if there's those who need some catch-up feedback and some help, they can come to us in that first week of term 3. For the meetings, students will set the agenda. They do all the organising and the planning for the meeting. They bring their process journal. They take notes. It really is for you just a conversation and a guiding conversation throughout the process. The responsibility is completely on them. If you have any academic concerns about students, please let me know as soon as possible so I can quickly catch it before it maybe gets a little bit too great and they're doing that 3-day before it's due stint. So that's an overview of what the actual personal project is and your role as a supervisor. And I'll just show you now the supporting information that we have on SEQTA. So if you come to my timetable, you'll see that down the bottom we have our untimetable classes. The pink one at the bottom, you just click on that one. And if you come along to the Student Guardian preview, this is mirrored on the Student SEQTA page. They all have access to this. And what we've put together, we put some announcements for the students. There's videos, some pieces we've uploaded throughout the process. There's a whole series of what to do for your process journals. And if anyone's stuck, there is examples here, PDF examples of former personal projects. And they obviously are top quality personal projects, so kids can see that. And I've used a variety of different mediums and projects to give the kids a broader view of the personal project. But that's there as a resource as well. Supervisors, the kids have an Excel spreadsheet continual update of who their supervisors are and their responsibility. I've then broken down each section of the cycle into step-by-step guide, formats for them to follow, reflection aspects. It really is quite structured for them in many ways because this really is an off-timetable class. Examples. Lots and lots of different elements for them. Then a guide of how to write the report, how to self-assess the report. There's a graphic organizer. And then obviously we'll work towards the exhibition in term 3 as well. For students who do not like to read and really struggle in that area, at the very end there's a step-by-step videos section which breaks down each of the criteria with the student speaking and guiding us through the process. So if your student is someone who doesn't like to read, please just send them in the direction of this part of SEQTA. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, please by all means just come and see me. Ta.